Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the class Buddhism 201, Introduction to Buddhist Meditation. I hope you all are doing great. Last week, we finished the midterm, and I'm still receiving your answers. But today is the last day. Okay. So we move on with the rest of the class, and today's topic has in the schedule the Zen or Chan meditation. Some of you are familiar with this word Zen and Chan in China. So we are going to examine what this tradition is and what type of meditation does this tradition teach. You know that Buddhism, we were discussing about Indian background and how meditation developed in India, Buddhist meditation. And we found a word, dhyana, D-H-Y-A-N-A, dhyana. Dhyana is a word to identify meditation, concentration, absorption, something like that. So that word, Buddhism went into China from India. You have to read a little bit of history. It is recorded that a monk named Bodhidharma introduced Buddhism into China in somewhere in 6th century CE. So when Buddhism went into China, Bodhidharma introduced a new method of practicing meditation. In China at that time, there was the influence of Taoism and also Confucianism. Those two traditions were somewhat they were recognizing the concentration practices and things like that. So into that setting, Bodhidharma introduced the Buddhist meditation, and it developed into the system called Chan, C-H-A-N, Chan. So the word dhyana in India, when it came to China, it became Chan. Dhyana transliterated into Chinese tradition as Chan, C-H-A-N. And in China, it evolved into a very big system over the about 4 or 5 centuries. It developed into a big system, Chan meditation. And in the history later on, Buddhism was introduced into Korea and Japan. In Japan, the same tradition was recognized as Zen, Z-E-N, Zen meditation. Now you should be able to see the connection between these 3 words. Dhyana into Chan and Chan into Zen. Okay? Dhyana into Chan and Chan into Zen. Zen in Japan, but in Korea it was called Zon, S-O-N, Son. Anyhow, the idea is the practice of Buddhist meditation in that particular setting. So what is interesting about Zen meditation is that it is something similar to what we identified earlier as Vipassana meditation, sitting meditation. Zen meditation is sitting meditation. You sit and quietly, and then you think about something. Think about something means that you focus on something, you concentrate on something. Usually the Zen masters, when they encounter a new student, what they are asking them to do is to, they give like a puzzle, a riddle. You know the word riddle, huh? R-I-D-D-L-E, riddle or a puzzle. And then the meditator has to think on that thing. For instance, what is the sound of one hand clapping? What is the sound of one hand clapping? It's kind of a riddle, huh? Puzzle. So when you meditate on that thing, when you concentrate on that thing, when you think about that thing, suddenly what happens is you can attain what you may call nirvana. Very interesting. When you think on that thing for a long time, suddenly it occurs that enlightenment is there. So this practice is so popular in the world now. It's what started in Japan actually as Zen meditation, and later on it developed into a very big system, and even now you can see it in Japan and elsewhere. Even in the West, even in the United States, Zen meditation practice is popular. Suzuki, one of the pioneers who introduced Zen meditation into Western world about a century or a century and a half ago, and now it has become a part of their life. Some Buddhists still recognize themselves as Zen practitioners. So the important thing in Zen Buddhism, Zen practice is that you engage in thorough practice of meditation, concentration, fully present in the present moment, and achieving the, they use the word satori. Satori is the enlightenment, nibbana. And later on, of course, in Zen Buddhism, one group one group upheld the idea that you can attain enlightenment suddenly, on the spur of the moment, quickly, sudden. It's just, so that tradition is called sudden enlightenment. Tariki. And then the other group said, it's not the sudden thing. It's attainment of enlightenment. Enlightenment is not sudden. It's a gradual attainment. You attain enlightenment gradually, starting from one point to going to another point. There's a gradual way of practicing Zen meditation. So there are two types of, or two sort of different methods in Zen practice. One is called sudden enlightenment. The other one is called gradual enlightenment. No matter what, the enlightenment is the most important thing. Attaining that enlightenment, it has to be attained through practice of meditation. That's the very important thing. So in Zen Buddhism, it's very interesting that it's the student and the master or the teacher, the rapport between these two, the relationship between these two is very important. You have to follow the Zen master's guidelines. Sometimes you must have seen in videos, some videos, you can go online and go to YouTube and check Zen meditation practice. Some masters, they give a what you may call koan. It's called koan, K-O-A-N. Koan is a puzzled word, a puzzled statement, puzzled sentence. And you concentrate on that thing, you think over that thing, and suddenly you attain a light. So this is so beautiful. And apart from that, Zen is so close to the Theravada Zen practice, Theravada Vipassana practice. Vipassana meditation also, you have to sit, be quiet, and pay attention to your in-breath and out-breath, and also analyze what is going on right here, right now, within you and without you, outside you. When you engage on that practice, what happens is suddenly you are able to attain the enlightenment. So in that way, Zen practice is so popular and so unique in the Buddhist meditation system. And also there are many Zen masters, and at the same time there are many Zen stories to teach you very very quick and very deep understanding. It brings very deep understanding when you focus on certain puzzled statement, puzzled word, koan. So in this way, you see that the Zen practice is, Zen Buddhist meditation is not away from the early teachings of the Buddha. Early teachings, as we saw in our previous classes, was paying attention to your in-breath and out-breath, or you focus on certain subject matter, and you develop your concentration, and then you eventually are able to see things as they are, see things clearly, right? The ability to see things as they are, that comes from constant or continuous practice of sitting meditation, according to Zen Buddhism. Constant practice of sitting meditation. Sometimes a meditator, Zen meditator, sits about 15 to 18 hours a day. Can you imagine 15 to 18 hours a day without even speaking a word? Just sit and see how things are happening in one's own body and outside, or paying attention to a certain koan, riddle, and try to analyze that riddle. And in the process, eventually what happens is you will attain sudden enlightenment. So this is Zen practice. And there may be in the United States also, you may be able to find some Zen meditation centers. They are popular. So it has a big history now, very popular. very popular practice. So I ask you to do a little research now. Go online and see how many hits you get when you type Zen meditation. So many. And then you have to do a little research. Check how it evolved. I already told you how Zen meditation evolved in Japan. We are especially focusing on Japan, but actually this tradition started in India, excuse me, and then moved into China. And after that, it went to Korea and Japan. So the flower blooming in Japanese culture. Associated with this Zen meditation practice, they have the what you may call the tea culture, preparing tea. That's also Japanese culture. So it has and calligraphy, paintings, things like that. So you have to do a little research now. Check online and see what Zen meditation is and what are the evolutionary process. What is the evolutionary process of Zen in Japan? Okay, so I wind up with that note, and if you have any question, please feel free to contact me. I hope you'll be able to find some valuable information online, because this is very, very storehouse. There's a storehouse actually online. Please do a little research apart from my lecture. My lecture is a little thing. You have to expand it with your homework, your extra work. You have to expand that this little short lecture. Okay, so hope you will be able to manage it. So with that, I wind up, and if you have any question, please feel free to email me, contact me some way, and so that's it. You have a good day and good week. Thank you.